is right. We can talk about anything you like. Just listen. Take a walk right over to my kitchen. What you wanna do? Come mix it up with us too. So tell me what you wanna do. Come mix it up with us too. Yeah, come mix it up with us too.
Welcome to The Stew. It is a Woman Crush Wednesday. I'm Janae.
I'm Anika. And I'm Les. And ladies, it is October, which means it's still Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Want to provide you with some information. You know, later on in the show, we're going to have a special guest, a representative from the Cancer Awareness Initiative, Pinktober. And on their website, they have some information that says where a study was conducted in 2007, where 43% of women who died from breast cancer were under the age of 50. How do you feel about something like that, knowing that?
I mean, and that was 2007. So
Exactly.
in
So
2016, going into 2017, I can imagine that it probably went up a little bit.
That's scary.
I'm sure it has.
It's very scary. It makes me want to be a lot more well-informed about breast cancer and preventing it and just learning more about research specifically.
Exactly,
Yeah.
creating more and more awareness and more research.
How
as
do I
you
know the
mentioned.
likelihood that
Right.
I can get it, my friends could get it,
Exactly.
I'd love to learn more about
Exactly.
that.
So hopefully we have an opportunity to ask all of these questions when we speak with our special guest later on, so we can get some answers. But switching gears, I don't know if you realize, but we're going into our third week now post Hurricane Matthew, and one of the unfortunate circumstances amongst everything else that has come out of this is that a lot of the schools still are not open. Some of the schools are open. I understand about 90% or so of private schools, but only about 25% of public schools throughout the country are open. And a lot here in New Providence still are closed because of Hurricane Matthew. And I understand it's more than even just the damages that have been caused, but Minister Jerome Fitzgerald has actually been appealing to BPL to get the lights on because a lot of their systems are, water and light are incorporated in the schools. So
It's scary. I don't know. For me, it's scary because we're already struggling on the education front, just to say it frankly.
Yeah.
And the fact that these kids aren't going to school for a couple of weeks
extended
more.
break, yes.
Well, hopefully there's enough time to make that back up once we get, power back on and things like that. That's my number one concern, is fixing that, remedying that as soon as the power is back on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's pray for the best.
Because, other than that, the school year is just going to be extended because, the school year has to meet a quota of educating our children for a certain amount of time. So I'm thinking if they don't go back next week or the week after, that's just going to push time back into possibly summer of 2017. But anyway, we've got some other issues going on worldwide as we get closer to the U.S. elections.
Oh, my favorite topic. If I want a
Yes.
good comedy show, I am going to tune in to CNN and watch
turn on the TV.
the
Circus.
the circus that's going on between Donald Trump and Donald Trump himself.
Yes.
So I believe it was last week sometime a video started to circulate where Donald Trump put his foot in his mouth.
Once again.
But not just him. Actually, this week, Billy Bush, the person he was talking to, who is a host on the Today Show, he has stepped down from his role, or he's left NBC
I heard
completely.
he was fired. That's what I was. That's what I heard. They just
indefinitely.
said he was
Yeah,
let go.
he was
so-
suspended, and now
Okay.
they're not
to
saying
me.
fired. He's left, is what they're saying. And for me, the crazy thing about it is if someone, he's a host, right, on a network, a well-respected network, but you're talking about a president of a well-respected country, and he's
Possible president.
but that's what he's going for. And this guy can get fired or leave, right? Because of, he has to, face up to what he's done. And Donald Trump's still kind of going around saying the election's now rigged all of a sudden, right? The media's rigging it. And we know it was going to come to this, but you're talking about a a crybaby.
I'm seriously over it. I mean,
I'm with you, Anika.
The comment was hilarious. If you guys did not check it out, please do. Yeah, sums up my emotion too.
Those are my thoughts. As
But
far
I
as
am
borrow
so
yours.
over it. He's full of. Do that again.
I borrow
Do that
it.
again.
Yeah, where's the other one?
He's full of this.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's so interesting though. It's so comedic to watch, but it's really sad. I find they just have.
This is what I have issue with, because this is all based on the controversy. Back in the day, Billy Bush had an opportunity to interview Donald Trump. And on the trailer at the time, they had some talk, which, there's speculation. Did they know that the microphones were still on, that things were still rolling and being recorded? Did they know, did they not know? No one's really certain. But in any event, Donald Trump was heard making some rather
What do you say? What do you say?
derogatory remarks.
Grab him by the.
towards females. I suggest that you Google it, because I don't think I'm allowed to say it here on television.
Hey, but the
But-
potential president can say it, so why can't we? Okay.
Well, that was back in the day. I just, my only issue with Donald Trump on the whole is that I think he's tarnished such a beautiful legacy going for the president of the United States. It seems as though anyone coming, from this point on could just get away with saying whatever they feel, and they could be called strong, and it's okay.
Yeah, well, and that's a part of the arguments that people are bringing forth. That okay, well, we are in a country where sexism and everything's fine, and people, praise it. So why can't our president do it? But I'm sorry, if any other president did this, anybody else,
That's
it would
exactly.
have been completely unacceptable. So why a pass for Donald Trump?
Well, ladies, I am tired of hearing anything about Donald Trump and his derogatory statements towards women. Ladies, we want to give you our quick cheat sheets to womanhood. This is your guide to being fabulous and just fierce. My very first tip is get you some of that Jesus. And my second tip, always keep a swimsuit and a floppy hat in your car.
I'm quite bad at being a woman.
Really?
Really,
Yeah.
Janae?
No, I'm
Janae?
really bad. So my tips are keep some Aleve in your bag.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you
always need
never
a
know when you're going to
painkiller.
get a headache
Yeah.
or deal with someone that gives you one. And my next tip would be to keep gas in the car, because then you won't be able to get anywhere.
Gotcha.
Very true, very true. I think it's always good to keep a little something extra in the car, because you never know when your day will go straight from day into night. So with that in mind, an extra pair of shoes, some classy heels or pumps or something, if you're going straight from work. And if you want to jazz up your makeup, little eyeliner in your makeup pouch works wonders. So, you can take your look from day to night.
It works in theory, but I never remember.
Why?
But you never remember
You just
to
need
put
a little
shoes in the
gift.
car?
No, shoes are always in the car,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
not like I meant to do that. It was from the
Oh,
day
you got
before,
left. You forgot
and then
something.
I didn't want to walk
Back
in the
to the
house.
car to take it out.
Right.
Yeah,
So what kind of
nothing's
tips?
purposeful.
What kind of tips do you give to that woman who's like, I'm not complete girly girl. What should I do? Because I don't feel like I'm complete girly girl either.
No,
Really, Anika?
Yeah.
The two of you are
Trust
just
me, I'm
the
faking
most.
it. I'm faking it.
The
You
two
see
of
me
you
here
are
looking
don't
the
even
all.
bring
most
lipstick. I don't
faking.
carry with lipstick. I went out on Saturday night and I forgot a bag. It's not that I didn't bring one. I forgot. I'm glad I brought
So
my
pack
phone,
a
though.
purse.
But
I love
talking about the
purses.
weekend, actually, so Sunday night or Sunday football is back. It's the season has started. For me, I'm a Super Bowl watcher, and that's it.
You don't watch the season.
I don't watch the
Yeah.
season. I just can't I can't get into it. Now, when basketball starts, now you're talking my language and my sport. So what do you do if you have a significant other and you don't watch football, but that's all they're doing all day?
Nag him all day
Nag.
while he watches the game. Not nag, but when you just you keep walking by, like, hey, babe. You want?
You're one of those
Yeah.
chicks.
You want a bear?
Do you do it with or without clothes? Because I've seen that trick.
Well, you know. But anyway, Les, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more like, hey, I'm just checking on you. You need some water? Because really, I feel so lonely when football's on.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I promise you, he's probably not even tuned in. He's probably
Not at
not
all.
even listening to you at all.
Well, considering the clothing option,
I was
maybe
about
not.
to say unless clothes are off, but yeah, I actually used to watch football all the time, and then we broke up.
Oh, so she's a convenient football watcher, guys. We're learning more about Leslie every day.
Ladies, I want to switch gears before we have to go to commercial break. I don't know if you saw the video recently with Beyonce. And she was performing at a Tidal concert over the weekend and doing her Sasha Fierce in the most fiercest way. You know, Beyonce slays, like she is on when she's on stage, right? So she's in her mode, she's doing her thing, her skin tight bodysuit, her high ponytail, it's long, it's coming all the way down as far as her hips. She whips her hair. Her hair actually gets entangled with her earring, rips her earring out, and what does Miss Beyonce do? She keeps singing, honey.
I mean, what else do you expect?
She puts
Well,
her
ear was actually bleeding.
while her ear was bleeding, she puts her hand up, realizes that it's bleeding, and she keeps singing.
Yep.
But my thing is, after all of this was said and done, people, her fans, her Bayhive actually took it to the extremes and created hashtags on social media. Cut for Beyonce, bleed for Beyonce, with photos attached. Have you ever been that crazed to do something or anyone influenced you that much?
First of all, Leslie, it's the
Girl,
Beehive.
thank you.
Let's
I
get
was
right.
waiting for her
So
to be
it
done.
makes it okay?
It's Beehive, honey. Let's get that
Beehive.
pronunciation
Not
right.
that we're
You know what, guys?
Not that we're
I think
extremists or
you guys
anything.
have said enough. We gotta go to a commercial break. I can't with them. They are such fans of Beyonce. They're taking it
Oh
to the
my
extreme.
goodness.
Don't be
Bleed
bleeding
for
around here for no
Beyonce. Oh my
Beyonce.
God.
Okay, I love her just as much as you do. But anyhow, we'll be back with more of the stew after this.
We're back on the stew. Today in the studio we have special guests in spirit of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've got the Nassau liaison. Her name is Jonna Massam with Pinktober. We're gonna bring her out right now. Welcome, Jonna.
Thank you.
How are you this morning?
I
You
am
look
good,
beautiful.
thank
Yes.
Trying to match you, ladies.
All right, let's jump right into Pinktober. Tell us, what is Pinktober and when was it founded?
Okay, Pinktober is an organization that was the brainchild of Linda Malcolm, who is from Grand Bahama and is a breast cancer survivor herself. So this is its second year, and Linda formed the organization, obviously because she knows firsthand the challenges, as well as the difficulties with being faced with it herself, as well as from a family standpoint, emotionally, what it does, financially, what it does. So.
Yeah, and Pinktober on your website is described as a cancer awareness marketing initiative that organizes unique fundraising events for breast cancer organizations and the support of them. How did you yourself become involved with the initiative of Pinktober?
Well, Linda's a good friend of mine, and this year we partnered with Cancer Treatment Centers of America, who wanted the reach expanded beyond Grand Bahama. So I jumped on board for New Providence.
Lovely. Also, something I found that was really interesting on your website, you all mentioned the fact that back in the day, breast cancer was really thought of more as an old woman's disease, women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and up being diagnosed with breast cancer. But nowadays, women a lot younger being diagnosed, and it's so prevalent here in the Bahamas. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the reason primarily, specifically here, that it cannot be looked at as an old woman's disease is we are faced with a different strain of breast cancer here in the Bahamas specifically. where in the US you have people at 50 being told to start getting mammograms post menopause,
Right.
you have women here in their childbearing years that are being faced with this disease. So obviously we now have to start testing younger and younger because it's not just an old woman's disease anymore.
What's interesting, John, is that you mentioned before that there are no registries for breast cancer. So you're saying this, but we don't necessarily know what we're up against.
Which is why awareness is such a huge factor in breast cancer. There is no registry. So there's no way of gaining proper statistics on the amount of women diagnosed annually, projections on the amount of women that will be diagnosed this year or in coming years, or even the amount of women that have died or will succumb to the disease.
All the information that we know about the Bahamas being the highest in the region for cancer overall and being amongst the top 20 countries in the world for breast cancer, these are international studies that have been done simply because we do not have a registry here and we don't know, we cannot say as to the ages.
Well, PMH has their own registry, but again, that's not really reliable when you have doctors or people that can go abroad to both diagnose and as well as get treatment. So
You talk about breast cancer no longer being an old woman's disease, and I think that kind of struck home a little bit for me because I remember I had mentioned this before, but when I was maybe 17, I remember finding a lump in my breast and feeling like, okay,
was the
whoa,
end of
this
the
is
world.
different, you know, like, so what kind of advice would you give to young women who may feel like, yeah, you know, breast cancer, I don't have to worry about that, or I don't have to do a mammogram? What kind of advice would you give to young women?
Well, first of all, again, what comes with statistics, there's no way of testing or finding out what's causing breast cancer. So the advice that I would give is, first of all, awareness. It's not something where you can just say, oh, my mom had it, so maybe I may get it, or no one in my family had it, so I may not be able to get it. Definitely test yourself as early as 25, I would say, because I have a friend that died maybe a few months ago at 32 years old, and another friend that is currently 32 and undergoing chemo. So obviously it's not an old woman's disease, and it's not something to take lightly.
You talk about strains too. Can you explain a little bit more about that? Strains of breast cancer?
Okay, so primarily in Black women, BRCA is a test that can be done to test whether or not the strain is prevalent within your body. It's a gene. And so BRCA1 tests that in females, and BRCA2 is ovarian, but specifically, especially here, we need to test. That's the only way of knowing whether the strain, whether you have it or not. So it's important to test.
Does insurance cover that, Jonna?
No.
And
So-
that's crazy, knowing the statistics that international studies has shown us that, you know, we still don't have coverage for something that's so
Important.
And that's why research and fundraising is so important, because beyond a support group, people need money. You know, this isn't something that can be taken lightly or isn't expensive. It's a very expensive disease.
And Jonna, we've got to actually wrap up, but before we do, let's talk quickly about Pinktober itself and the events that you have going on throughout this month. IL Cares is a sponsor of Pinktober. What are some of the activities that people could look forward to during this month?
Okay, well, we have a VI Pink Party, which is one of the signature events. And in the VI Pink Party, we'll be hosting a pink poker tournament just to get the guys involved, as well as a Shop for a Cause experience where we have the likes of Loretta Butler Turner, Senator Sharon Wilson opening up their closets for the cause, as well as we have our signature strut, as opposed to a fun run walk. We are taking over the streets with Rhythms Carnival Group, and just strutting for the cure, in honor of those that have lost the battle. And then we'll conclude that with a potluck brunch.
Okay, and let's tell everyone how we can find out some more information about your events.
So the events have had to be rescheduled post Matthew, but please stay tuned to our Facebook page, Conquer Cancer, and our website, www.pinktoberbahamas.com.
Well, Jonna, thank you so much for being here and giving us information on Pinktober.
Thank you for having
We'll
me.
be back with more of The Stew after this.
Hey guys, you're watching The Stew, and this is your tech tip. There's no secret that research and information is important when it comes to the topic of breast cancer. Here are a list of apps that will help to keep you informed and in tip-top shape. First up is Fitnet. If you are always on the go and you do not have time for the gym, this app provides 5 to 7 minute targeted workout plans just for you. Next up is Fugicate. Take this app with you to the grocery store, scan the barcodes on your foods, and get the real facts on the nutritional value. Remember, you are what you eat. And finally, Before BC. This app was specifically created for information surrounding breast cancer. Do you need a reminder for your doctor's appointments or for your self-examination? Then this app is perfect for you. This has been your tech tip. You're watching The Stew. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching The Stew. It has been your Woman Crush Wednesday. We want to thank Jonna again for coming in studio and talking about Pinktober. Please stay tuned for all the breast cancer awareness events happening this month. But guess what, ladies?
Yeah.
October's almost over.
I know.
And we're
flies.
going into November, which will then go into Christmas,
Right around the corner.
which is my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
Very happy for you guys.
Yes.
2016 is almost done.
I was about to
But
say.
before that, there is Halloween.
Yes.
What do you think we should dress up as, guys? Let us know, because I don't know what my Halloween costume is going to be
We're
just yet.
we're completely lost.
Yeah.
But if you have any
some
ideas,
ideas.
share it with us on the ILTV Studios
Social
Facebook
media.
page or
Just all throughout
Instagram.
social
Yeah,
media.
Exactly. Well, this has been great. You'll see us on Friday for happy hour. Yes.
Someone's excited about happy hour.
So don't miss out, and we'll see you then. Have a good day. Bye-bye.